And I guess we'll just start with an opening statement from you, Coach. If you'll just talk about getting to Atlanta and getting the team settled in and getting bowl week off to a start.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, to be part of this huge matchup and big-time bowl game, and to be able to play Penn State and Coach Franklin. That they've done such a great job, not just this year, but on a lot of years in a row here of a great run. So this is a really big challenge for us. We're excited to be in Atlanta with a lot of events coming up and a lot of work to still do. This is Tuesday of a work week, so we have practice coming up here in a little bit in the stadium, and our first practice here. So a lot of work to still be done.
Yep. Thanks for that, Coach. All right, we'll go ahead and get into questions from the media. We'll take our first question from Doug Roberson of the AJC. Go ahead, Doug.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Matt. Coach, you've worked all over the South. Atlanta with the Chick-fil-A kickoff games, the Peach Bowl, playoffs, kind of fashions itself as the capital of college football. And I was curious if you had a take on the city's place within the sport.
Well, I don't know that I thought about it that way, but obviously tremendous amount of great players in the Atlanta area and the state of Georgia, and this is a really cool stadium to play in, whether that's been kickoff classics, whether that's years ago at Tennessee actually playing in this game, and at Alabama playing this game as a playoff game. So really neat to be part of and to be here and to be in this big of a market.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I'll take our next question from Megan Hall, USA Today. Go ahead, Megan.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Hey, Coach. Good to see you. Just wanted to ask you, obviously, I saw over the last couple of days you had an extension. A lot of that is due to the tremendous work that you've done over the last, several years. So question to you is, I guess, what just puts that fire in your belly, or what, keeps your engine going to have this team humming at such a high rate of success?
Well, I'm very grateful, to be hired here in the first place, 4 seasons ago, and, to get an extension, which didn't change any financial part of the situation, just added length and commitment that this is where we want to be, and commitment from the university. And so, just really pleased to be part of that, very grateful for our staff, for our leadership here, and our players. And they've done amazing, to win 10 games to the last 3 seasons. Think of where it was when we got here and where it is now, and what's been going on in recruiting that'll lead into next year is really amazing, just to be a part of, and excited to watch these guys play one more game.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take our next question from Joe Smeltzer. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time. So, from what you've seen of Drew Allers so far, what have been your main takeaways of his game at the quarterback position?
Well, he's hard to beat. Takes care of the ball really well. Really good mixture of being able to throw the ball and then get out of trouble and make a play and make a first down with his feet. So these guys are always really hard when they're, I call student of the games when you see them play. Rarely make any mistakes. And when you couple that with the best defense in the country, that's a really good combination. That's why these guys have won so many games.
All right, we'll go next to Max Ralph from All Penn State.
Hey, Lane. Curious how Penn State having co-coordinators on both sides of the ball for this game, interim co-coordinators, that is, affects your preparation.
Yeah, I think that the first thought people would think, well, that's a favor, or that's in our favor with Manny leaving, but that presents challenges too. We don't have any idea, what they're going to do. It's like opening the season with no, preseason games, or being someone's second game. So that's actually a really big challenge. But it's just more that we're going to have to be ready for whatever they play, and play really sound and play really good football.
All right, we'll go next to Mitch Davis. Go ahead, Mitch.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. Coach, just a quick question. How does playing in the Southeastern Conference prepare you to play other conferences and bowl games and everything? And what makes the Southeastern Conference that much different from the Big Ten, the ACC, and other conferences?
Well, I just think it's so balanced, and there's so much elite talent, and so that's not disrespecting any other conference. I think that, we're in analytics and stats and proof of things, and I think the draft shows that by the number of SEC players drafted, over the years compared to other conferences. So, you play such elite players, really elite coaches, and not just head coaches but coordinators, and you play in really, really hard environments. Almost all the environments are sold out, very difficult environments to play in. So I don't think any other conference has all of those things from top to bottom.
We'll go next to Brad Logan. Go ahead, Brad.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Lane. Lane, you made the comment a couple times this year, specific after wins, that this team, you're privileged to coach this team. What makes you say that, and what makes this team different than the teams you coached in the past?
I think because of the time frame that we're in with the portal, especially the way that we put together a roster, a lot of times it's not going to be quite as enjoyable as it is to have recruited kids and them develop for a couple of years in a system and, pick the school initially in their first pick, versus their second pick. So, that doesn't always work. No different than free agency and professional sports. Look at the NBA. They put together these dream teams and all of a sudden, don't have very good seasons once they start going bad. So it doesn't always work that way, just like it doesn't always work when you sign 5-star players out of high school that you're going to win. So I've really enjoyed that these guys have come together from all these different places around the country and really put aside their egos, because some of them don't play as much as they want. They only play special teams, and that says a lot about them. And I don't think that is the common theme nowadays in this generation, in this system that's set up, that's free agency every year, going all these places, and in a lot of ways chasing money. That usually doesn't equal really good team chemistry.
Take our next question from Charles Odom of the AP. Go ahead, Charles.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this. To follow up on what you were saying about preparing for new co-coordinators, how do the Penn State opt-outs for the bowl, does that further complicate your plans, adding some uncertainty with the personnel that you'll be facing? And when we spoke to you at the bowl announcement, you said you didn't anticipate any opt-outs on your side. Does that still hold?
Yeah, I probably jinxed myself by saying that. Kind of a surprise to us. Cedric Johnson decided not to play in the bowl game, so we wish him the best of luck. We'll miss him. He was a really important part of this team, but everybody's got to make their own decisions nowadays, and kids think about things differently, and so it is what it is. And but everybody else is here, and as far as those guys, they got a lot of great players. They've recruited at a really high level for a lot of years in a row, have not built through the portal, so I think they can sustain a number, injuries or opt-outs more than a lot of programs would be able to.
All right, we've got time. Well, I think we're going to try to take two more for Coach. We'll go next to Tyler Comas. Go ahead, Tyler.
Lane, it seems you got a couple early enrollees with you on the trip. Is it all 12 of them, some of them, and what is being around?
Yeah, we do not. We had a couple come to practice, when we were back at home, but not traveling with us. So I wish they were.
We'll go next to Joe Smeltzer. Back to Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Coach, you said earlier that you feel Penn State has the best defense in the country. Obviously, there's just statistics to back that up. But aside from the numbers, what have you seen from Penn State's defense that would make you give such a compliment?
I think they play really hard. Obviously, they have great players, elite talent, great coaching, but they play really, really hard and really physical at home and on the road. Sometimes you see these teams with electric home atmospheres and advantages like these guys have, like some of the SEC teams, but then they won't play quite as hard defensively on the road. These guys are not like that. These guys bring an old school mentality with new school elite talent.
All right, we'll take our last question for Coach from Max Ralph. Go ahead, Max.
Hey Lane, we talked with James Franklin a couple weeks ago where we just kind of asked him about his schedule with transfer portal and signing day and bowl prep and everything going on right now. Can you kind of explain your schedule and how this section of college football, this December sprint, kind of works for you?
Yeah, we're actually kind of finally to a normal part now where today's Tuesday and we actually play on a Saturday, so it's a normal week for us. We're just in a hotel in a different city. Previous to this, it's been a little chaotic with not just recruiting and flying around trying to get back for practice. A lot of assistant coaches not at the practices, but then dealing with the portal, going to other universities to see kids, and dealing with keeping our own kids. So again, it's a terrible system, and I wouldn't think any other sports, professional sports, have ever set up a system where free agency starts while the season's still going. So it really makes no sense. You can leave, you can stay, you can go other places, coaches can call you, and our season's still going. It'd be like before the NFC or AFC playoffs started in a couple weeks, all of a sudden, hey, free agency the week before open, so you can start recruiting other people's players and fly them on trips and get them to transfer. So really a really bad system.
Coach, we'll go ahead and end it there. We thank you for your time. We'll let you get back to work.
All right, guys, thanks.